Dodgers, Rays for the 2020 World Series in the bubble at Globe Life Field at Arlington, Texas. Julian and I breaking it down here in the next episode of Sideline Sports Podcast. Welcome to Sideline Sports Podcast. If you're not on the sideline, it's not Sideline Sports Podcast. And welcome to another edition of Sideline Sports Podcast. I'm the host, Alex Naveja, where if you're not on the sideline, it's not Sideline Sports Podcast. And with me today is a special friend of mine. I think we go way back to the winter meetings over here in San Diego. Of course, good friend of mine, Julian Guilarte, also from Grunt Talks MLB. Julian, man, it's been a while since I've seen you. I know you're with me on this one. How you feeling today?
Yeah, bro, thanks for having me. You know, we go a while back. I'm really looking forward to this. I knew when you hit me up, you wanted me to talk World Series, and this is it, man. Obviously, I was hoping my Yankees would be in it. I still got the hat. It's a tough way to go out because, honestly, I'm not sure if you would agree with me, but I think you would. If we beat Tampa Bay, we're probably playing in the World Series right now. I think we could have beat the Astros. I mean, come on, man. Tampa was the best team in the American League, though. They really were. I got to give them credit where credit's due. They were outstanding this year. They beat us up the whole season. It wasn't a fluke. They were just better than us, unfortunately. That last game, we just couldn't hit. But this is a good Tampa Bay team you're seeing. Don't sleep on them. But you guys definitely have the advantage on paper, I would say. Their lineup's much better than theirs. And the one thing that you can do that we weren't able to and the Astros weren't able to are all those lefty bats you guys have. It's going to give them a lot of trouble. Seager, Muncy, Bellinger. I think there's a Jock Peterson, obviously. Like, you guys got a lot of good lefties, which is an area I think the Yankees need to improve upon. But it's going to bode well for you guys.
Hey, you're already hitting the nail right at the head right there, Julian. We're already getting straight into the action. I like it. And you know what? I'm still waiting for a Yankees-Dodgers World Series, and I think we will get one maybe in the next year or two.
Hopefully next year, I guess. I thought this year, but we just weren't ready, unfortunately.
Hey, the Yankees were looking really good, especially against Cleveland, and they just looked really, really, really good in that series. And yeah, I can already see Yankees, Dodgers, and I can already start seeing the old school footage of all the battle of Brooklyn, battle for New York back in the day. But you know what?
No.
Let's go straight into the action, Julian. We've got a lot to talk about. Dodgers, Rays wasn't an easy road for either one of these teams. For the Dodgers, having to play, you get to play the Milwaukee Brewers at home. That resulted in a very quick sweep. Then, oh God, I'm freezing up. Oh, I'll edit that part out. Then they had to play against a very good, talented San Diego Padres team who I still think was a challenge for the Dodgers. That wasn't an easy series for them to play against them. And then having to play against a boiling hot Atlanta Braves team with hitters 1 through 9 capable of doing so much damage. Their starting rotation looks so good. I think the Achilles heel for the Braves was the bullpen. So now here's the Dodgers. They were trailing 3-1 in the NLCS, and here they are in the big stage, back at it again. When in 2017 and 18 they were in the big stage, could not finish it up there, but they have another opportunity to redeem themselves against a Tampa Bay Rays team who I think you and I can both agree is the best team in the American League.
Yeah, I said it. They are. I mean, it hurts. They beat us up this year. They deserve to be there, though. I was rooting for them once they beat us because I didn't want to see the Astros make it again. Although it would have been a nice storyline if you guys beat them, but Mark Teixeira made a great point. It's like we don't want this because everyone's going to just talk about the cheating. Let's just talk about baseball. We can put them behind us finally. Rays, Dodgers, straight up ball. Because the Rays, I respect. They do it straight up. There's no games. They just outpitch you. They get the timely hits. But they're going to struggle against you guys because the offense is really just based on the home run. They're not hitting too well other than that. They get a few homers, the timely hits, but you guys got to take advantage of them. You easily can. So I think it's going to be a fun series. I also didn't think you guys were out of it against the Braves. I said when you guys were down 2-0, it wasn't done. Via got some slack. And 3-1, I was still thinking, all right, maybe. Was I like, maybe not? But I still believe, like, game by game, I'm like, okay, like, if you get to game 6, you have Walker Buehler. So I like you guys at Walker. Then you get to game 7, anything can happen. Like, you know, you just got to go game by game.
And I definitely have to say the game 7, the NLCS, I think that was the game of the playoffs. I mean,
that was a crazy one last night, up till midnight with it over here.
It was a great mix of everything. You got some home run balls, you got some great baseball, you got great pitchers on the mound. I mean, Ian Anderson, I thought he did excellent. Against the Dodgers the first time, like leaving them basically quiet that whole entire night. But then good ball clubs always make adjustments to the pitcher on the mound. So if they face you once, if you beat them, all right, we tip the cap to you. Second time around, hey, we watched some film. We know what you're going to throw in each count. They made the adjustment, and the Dodgers just came up big, where they attacked the moment head on. And here they are in the World Series very quickly. Rays also having a tough task as well. They had a very tough road ahead of them, and now having to play against the best and the two best here. And you know what? It's going to be a battle of these starting rotations, if you ask me, Julian. The Rays with that three-headed monster of Charlie.
Yeah, it's tough.
Charlie Morton, Blake Snell, and also Tyler
Charlie
Glasnow.
Morton. What a performance against the Astros, against this old team. Everything on the line, just goes out there and shuts them down. 5 1/3, just absolutely dominates them. I was happy for him. And here's the thing with the Rays. The Rays could have had an advantage had they won the series sooner. I think the fact that went 7 games is really going to hurt them because they had to tax that bullpen and everything. If they were able to rest up and then you guys grind it out, I think they might have actually had a chance here. But now you guys are basically playing even, and the Dodgers are a better team. That's just how it is. Can they win? Sure. The managerial advantage is something I would look for because Kevin Cash and over Dave Roberts, that's something you got to watch potentially. Because Cash has done a great job. Roberts has been questioned in the playoffs a lot. I'm curious your thoughts on Roberts. If the Dodgers don't win it, would you keep him or would you try to get someone else?
That is a very tough question. I think, man, you caught me on the spot right now, Julian. I think the Dodgers. I think they have to go with somebody else. And the reason why I do that.
I agree with you because, like, at what point is it enough? Like, you guys have all the talent. You trade for Mookie Betts. You see the difference he's making. You have all the pitching. The only thing is that maybe the starters are a little bit different because you only have 2, really. But, like, Tampa Bay only has 3. So you guys have enough arms. Like, Gonsolin, Urias, and May are enough to figure it out, even without, like, a traditional starter, I would say.
Yeah, and the thing is that those guys are so versatile. You see, Urias can be put in the pen or it could be in the starting rotation. You can see May was used both ways. Gonsolin, he put in his innings work as well. But I definitely have to say, if the Dodgers don't seal the deal here, I think Dave Roberts might go because there's a lot of questionable moves that he was making as far as the – good example, Game 6 when he pulled Walker Buehler. Like, why? You could have at least had him go 2/3 of that inning to at least, to collect outs.
His pitching moves, like, as a fan that's not – as a team, as a non-Dodger fan, his pitching moves leave a lot to be desired, even as, like, another fan watching him. Like, I've seen it a few times in the playoffs. He doesn't trust Cantley sometimes, and sometimes he trusts him too much. Like, he just doesn't seem to have the right feel for, like, when the guy should be in and out. Yesterday, I thought he did great, though, letting Urias ride it out. I would have done the same thing. Like, he could have went to Kershaw, and then he could have went to Jansen maybe, but there's no reason to do that because Urias had the hot hand yesterday. I'm like, you got to let him finish.
You have to. And, I mean, the Braves haven't even been able to hit that lefty specialist there for the Dodgers. And you can't put a Clayton Kershaw or a Kenley Jansen that have been struggling throughout the postseason. But now going into this one, this is a Rays team that has a mix of everything: great defense, great pitching, great
Their
hitters.
defense, yeah.
It's ridiculous. When I think of defense, I always think of Kevin Kiermaier, how that guy will sacrifice his body just to be able to rob
He's
guys
a
of
thorn in
hits.
my side. He's a great defender. Seems like he only hits against the Yankees, but his defense is off the charts. Margot's good too. Wendell's great defensively. Even Choi scooping the ball half the time. Rosarena's the story of the Rays, though. That guy's been sensational. You guys are going to have to keep him at bay, but he has 7 homers, 21 hits right now on his way to getting postseason records at this pace.
The key is going to have to be the pitching for the Dodgers. The pitching has to be A1. There's no more mistakes, no more nothing like that. It's going to take guys like, believe it or not, I'm going to say his name, Pedro Baez. Baez has to the last time he made that appearance in Game 6, I was stunned. Like, wow, I've never seen a Pedro Baez just like him. Locked in, got the 3 outs, and it's guys like that are really going to have to step it up. Keep the offense quiet for the Rays, because this is an all hands on deck type of battle against the Rays. So everybody's going to have to do their fair share of being able to quiet down the Rays. But, the Rays also have some weapons of their own. It's not just about that rotation, but that pen too.
Their bullpen is the thing. That's going to be the big battle that I want to watch. The Rays bullpen versus Dodgers bullpen. That's where you're going to see a lot of stuff. I mean, Nick Anderson's a freak. Like, he gave up 1 run, I think. Well, he actually gave up 1 to Judge, and he gave up the walk-off to Correa, I think. But during the season, the guy was untouchable. He's a tough one. Diego Castillo, same story until he finally cracked against the Astros after being used too much. Fairbanks is erratic sometimes, but he's really good. Thompson's really good. Like, they have they have so many guys. Like, that bullpen's so deep. And they all throw 98, as Cat said. Like, they're so tough. Like, believe me, it's going to be – you don't want those guys in there with a lead. The key is going to be who gets the lead early in the series, because the Dodgers can hold it down in the back of their bullpen, and Tampa Bay can hold it down too. That's their strength. You got to get the starters early. That's how you beat Tampa Bay.
I agree too. Julian, I want to ask you, who is going to be the key to the victory for the Dodgers?
Dodgers, I mean, I'm going to go with Cody Bellinger, I think. I think yesterday was a big homer for him and might have lifted that postseason struggle monkey off his back. If you could see him play more loose and do what he needs to do, I think that'll set the tone. Obviously, Corey Seager's been incredible. I don't know if he can maintain that pace, but he's been very good in helping you guys balance the lineup. He's been fantastic. Obviously, Betts goes without saying, dude's a stud, like making all these plays, all the hits and stuff. Someone under the radar, I like Will Smith. He seems to be coming up big with a lot of hits, and he's playing good defense back there. I mean, he had the best at bat in the series actually might have been the Will Smith at bat. That was his game changer for the series right there.
I think all of us wanted that at bat to happen at some point. Everyone was like, oh, hey, Will Smith's coming out of the pen. Is he going to face against Will Smith, the catcher? And it finally did. And Will Smith came up victorious against Will Smith.
That was a great at bat. That was one of my favorite at bats in the playoffs, probably.
Has to be. It has to be. But I'm actually going to go a different route, Julian. And I'm going to have to say Justin Turner has to step up offensively. He came up with a lunging tag on Dansby Swanson last night, and he came up huge with that. What I was even analyzing it. It was a 5-2-5-6 double play. So very interesting double play there on the Dodgers end, but I want to see Turner get it done with the stick. I feel as though he is a different hitter, much more quiet, a little more shy there at the plate when it comes to the postseason, because when he has 2 strikes on him, he is a scary hitter. He's the type of guy where you need to pound the strike zone on him. And when he has 2 strikes, he is scary. But when he's in the postseason, it seems as though he's a little more quiet. He's a little more shy. He's not the same Justin Turner there at the plate. I want to see him be the old monster self that he was before, being a scary guy at the plate.
I think he's been pretty good in the playoffs. Maybe not this year, but in old postseasons, I think he's been pretty good. This year, maybe he's struggling a little bit, but he's a great contact batter, like you said. He's a tough guy to strike out. I was thinking about Turner after I said everyone. I'm like, oh, there's one person left. You're like, Turner. I'm like, yep, that's the guy. But that's a good one. I like that. Veteran presence. He needs to get that World Series too. He's been in all these World Series, so it's time for him to get it going too.
They definitely need him. They need that true number 3 guy, because if Mookie Betts gets on base, expect Seager to get on base with either trying to score Betts because you can move him to second by making him steal, or if you have Seager and Betts both on base, then you have Justin Turner that's going to get the job done right after him. And that's just going to be a horrible situation for the Tampa Bay Rays. But if you're the Dodgers, then I think you have to jump on these starting pitchers. You can't let a fastball right down the pipe get by you. You have to attack anything that you
gonna
can
be
drive.
tough. Glasnow's a tough cookie. You guys, you gotta make him walk you, because if he gets locked in, he's gonna strike out a lot of batters. Glasnow's he could be erratic sometimes, but when he's locked in, he's locked in. He was hitting 101 the other night. Glasnow's no joke. He can really bring it. And it's going to be big. What do you think about Kershaw in the playoffs? Do you feel comfortable with him in this World Series?
I would still give him the ball, but I am going to watch him every pitch. I'm going to keep an eye out on him, and once I start seeing him kind of losing control, then I'm calling the bullpen right now and say, hey, just start stretching out. Just stretch out. We're keeping an eye out on Kershaw. Make sure he's not going to blow a lead or even allowing the Rays to jump on the Dodgers. So with Kershaw, I have faith in him because I like what I saw during the season. But of course, when it comes to the postseason, you just don't even know what you're going to get from Kershaw. But we need him to be aggressive. We need his off speed to be there. And Kershaw's got to be regular season Kershaw, but put it into the postseason.
Do you think they left him in too long last game?
I think they did. I think they
probably a batter or two, right?
I think maybe a batter or two, only because if you start to see Kershaw struggling, then you might want to take him out. But then if you see him do the little stunt that he did against the Milwaukee Brewers when he was like, no, don't call. Then I say, okay, he's locked in. We've got a locked in Kershaw. If you lose his batter, I'm pulling you. That's it. I'm getting the hook.
Yeah, because you can't be playing around the World Series. Like, if you see any sense of trouble, you got to take him out. And now the good thing is you guys will have off days again, so the bullpen won't be as taxed, so it'll be back to normal, in a sense at least. And you guys also have an advantage that people aren't really talking about, because you've been playing at the Rangers ballpark for weeks now, and the Rays are just rolling up there tomorrow for the first time.
Yeah, the dimensions in that ballpark are crazy. You think a well-struck ball is gonna go over the fence, but then next thing you know it, you see the outfielder and the warning track, and it just makes a catch. Like, wow, that looks so good off the bat.
Yeah, it's an interesting park for sure.
Definitely. Now, Julian, I'm gonna put you in the hot seat. It's prediction time. Who do you have as the 2020 MLB champs?
Dodgers in 6.
Wow. Dodgers.
I think the Dodgers will get it in 6. The Rays will make you guys scrap a little bit, but you'll get it done.
That's a really good guess. I think it's going to be a very interesting battle. It's not going to be an easy one for either one. I also have to say, this is the year for the Dodgers. They've got nothing but positive momentum. For crying out loud, their outfield has already robbed 3 home runs, one from the Padres, wow, 2 from the Braves. So this has to be the year that the Dodgers win. You've got one of the top players in the league in Mookie Betts, right behind Mike Trout, if you ask me. Don't at me in that. Mookie Betts is the second best player in all of Major League Baseball behind Mike Trout. And
I agree. People are even trying to say, a lot of people were saying he's been better because Trout doesn't go in the playoffs and all that. But I'm not going to go that far with it. Although I think Betts is definitely second over my guy Judge, because Judge doesn't stay on the field. If Aaron Judge wants to play more games, I would put him in that conversation. But until he starts doing that, I'm going to tip my hat to Betts right now. It's the second best in baseball, I would say.
Yeah, I have to keep him at second best right now. But, Julian, I wanted to go number 6 also. That was going to be my prediction too. But I'm writing it right now, and it's going to be –
6 just feels right to me. I think it's fair.
You took my answer, but you know what? I'm going to go 7. This is going to
go 7, damn.
It's going to go 7. It's going to be a nail-biter because both of these teams went 7 in their championship series, but both of these teams, hungry, dedicated for a World Series championship. But you know what? Here's a little secret. Andrew Friedman, he's going to have all the secrets on how to defeat the Tampa Bay Rays.
That's a good
He's
point.
going to bring it. He's going to come into the film, to the room. He's going to show the film. Tell him, this is how you attack Glass now. This is how you attack Blake Snell. This is how you attack Charlie Morton and the bullpen. This is what you got to do. And he's going to come up big. He's not a player. He's not a coach, but he is a front office staff, and he is very familiar with the Rays, and that's going to come up big. And Dodgers are going 7, and they'll finally break that since 1988.
LA going to be title town after the Lakers win. You guys going to get 2 titles in the coronavirus year.
LA needs it right now, even though with, I'm still going to say it, with the loss of Kobe, that hit all of us over here in LA. It's been a tough one.
The Lakers got that for you guys. They definitely earned that.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun to watch that. That was a fun NBA Finals. And you know what? You folks can tune into a fun World Series, whether you're a baseball fan or you're not a baseball fan. You guys got to tune into this one. It will be on Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. It'll be on Fox. Make sure to tune into that one, whether you root for the Dodgers or for the Rays. Worth watching towards. And that's all the time we have left here on Sideline Sports Podcast. We thank you all so much for tuning into this one. And, of course, if you guys like this episode, give the episode a thumbs up. Also, hit the subscribe button down below. We appreciate each and every one of you subscribers, supporters, fans of Sideline Sports Podcast. And, of course, thank you so much to Julian Guilarte, good friend of mine from the 2019 winter meetings. Hope we can go to the 2020 winter meetings, man.
Yeah, this year, I don't know. It's not looking so hot. I have it booked, but, I don't know if it's going to happen. Maybe virtual, maybe 21, unfortunately. But 20 is set for Dallas as of now. We'll have to see.
Hey, crossing fingers. We're going to have positive momentum. But, fans, if you guys want to follow Julian Guilarte, he is constantly posting up baseball news, baseball on his Twitter. He is hot in Twitter, folks. You want to follow him. I will make sure to put all of his social media handles down in the description below. Of course, also follow Grunt Talk MLB. Also, they are up to date with all of baseball. I'll make sure to put both of them down in the description below. Don't sleep on either one, on Julian or Grunt Talks. They're always putting up great content, folks. So other than that, I'm Alex Naveca from Sideline Sports Podcast, signing off. And, of course, if you're not on the sideline, it's not Sideline Sports Podcast. And good luck to the Dodgers and to the Rays in the World Series.